Victory Studios in downtown Little Rock, this is Capitol View with your host, Roby Brock.
Hi, welcome to Capitol View. I am your host, Roby Brock. We appreciate you tuning in. Hope that you've had a great Thanksgiving week. And I am here to give thanks to my friend John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Give thanks to me and rather than for me.
Thankful for our friendship.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Thankful for our collegiality. Thankful for our collaboration.
Tell me they think that you and I get along pretty well.
We're like the modern day Laurel and Hardy, or what, yeah. Lewis and Martin, or something like that.
I'm the big guy, and you're the funnier guy.
No.
Whatever. I'm glad to be here.
I'll let you be the Dean Martin, and I'll be Jerry Lewis. How about that?
That works. That works. That works.
Is that better for you?
That's typecasting, making me Dean Martin.
All right. It's a week of Thanksgiving. You having a good Thanksgiving week?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Quiet, and I do a lot of cooking just so I don't have to talk to family members. No offense to them, but.
Well, now they all know. So, but they probably figured it out years ago.
You talk to your family every day of the year. You know. Anyway, in my case.
It's all good.
Yeah,
let's get you out of the doghouse.
They don't watch the program anyway. They know my political.
I asked you to bring a list that we could fire some conventional wisdom arrows up and arrows down on what you're thankful for. So let's hear your first thing that you give thanks for.
Okay. Now I thought you meant, and my list is in accordance with that, political. News hook political things that I'm thankful for.
That's the reason
you don't want me just to be talking about, I don't want
to hear how much you love your wife. I know you love your wife.
Yes, I do. Even after I just said I cooked and well, anyway, it's your bad influence as me saying things. Let's get to this.
Let's hear about politics.
We're out of time. Yeah. I'm thankful this season, this moment in American and Arkansas politics, for judges to start with, of all persuasions. Think about what's going on. You got a federal judge, an old-style federal judge, a liberal federal judge, Timothy Brooks up in Fayetteville, who has ruled this year in protection of the people's power against its infringement by legislation, who's told plaintiff parents who object to their kids having to be subjected to religious commandments in school. He's ruled in their favor. He's protected librarians against legislation that is onerous to them and that holds them complicit if minors come into reading materials that some legislators think they shouldn't have. Those are all old-style constitutional protections of the liberal judging era of a generation or a generation and a half that so changed the country. And I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for the Pulaski County judges who ruled against Sarah Sanders in her attempt to push this election past the fiscal session, maybe to have some sort of perceived advantage, I don't know, and maybe disenfranchising Franklin County voters on this prison issue in the fiscal session. But I'm more thankful, I think, for the Arkansas Supreme Court, which I had previously dismissed with great confidence as simply the governor's personal legal staff, for rejecting summarily her attempt to have that ruling stayed, meaning that we're going to have an enfranchised voting public in Franklin County and in a House district here in Pulaski County, that the governor can't deliberately, abnormally delay an election. So that's
You're
good.
basically giving the entire judicial branch in Arkansas a thumbs up.
I am, and then
arrow up.
And then you got what's passing for justice, which isn't justice in the federal system, with the Justice Department operating as Trump's personal law firm. And when he says, "Go bring me the scalps of Letitia James and James Comey," they put in they put a White House aide in as the U.S. attorney, and he and haphazardly throw through an indictment, and a judge just said no, it's invalid. See, we're a system of checks and balances, and we've not had it but the federal judiciary is at the federal level. The federal judiciary is our best chance, and thank goodness we have them. A day of final reckoning on all this is coming when a federal court does something that Trump refuses to abide by, and we'll see how that turns out. But at the moment, thank goodness, my thanks are for judges at all levels.
I want to get your arrow up, arrow down take on U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You mean my new favorite person?
Your new favorite person. Wow.
No.
She's not going to want that endorsement.
No. I've heard her there. Here's the thing. This what am I thankful for in regard to her? She put a chink in the armor of the MAGA cult. She showed that you can be a complete Trumpite and think better of it on issues of importance like Epstein and healthcare, Epstein and healthcare, and open a floodgate. She basically singularly drove the issue to the point that Trump said, "Go ahead, release him." And once he says that, it's near unanimous votes. 400
it was 427 to 1. Yeah.
She showed. I'm thankful for any hardened partisan politician who, confronted with facts and with principles, thinks differently of it and has the courage to say so. And I think she came to Washington as a very naive conspiratorialist. She believed all this right-wing stuff. After a few years, she looks around and she looks at how her party's behaving, and she said, "That's not exactly right. My party is not doing right for the people, or for rightness or righteousness either." Of course, she's not running anymore,
right,
because she's not going to take on Trump in her primary. But she has shown a way to but to challenge with influence your own party, in her case, the Trumpian cult. And I'm thankful for her and for that.
Got a minute and a half left. I want to get your take on the new New York City mayor had a meeting in the White House Oval Office with Trump, and it was almost kumbaya moment there.
You know what I like? I like political talent. I like just somebody who can just handle a political situation with deftness. This guy,
Zoran Mamdani.
I know.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say it.
All right, just going to
Mamdani,
help you out there.
34 years old, mayor of the nation's biggest city, a socialist who, I don't want to overstate. This is going to sound like a great overstatement, but is the kind of talent who could normalize democratic socialism. Bernie gets a lot of votes in Democratic primaries. It wins a lot of states. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has made gains. But this guy, smart enough to go to a meeting in the White House with Trump, whom he called a fascist, and who had called him a communist, and work the situation to his benefit, to normalize himself, to stay on strict message discipline, and have Trump basically fawning over him.
Yeah.
Republicans are trying to explain how Trump played Mamdani. No, it was entirely the other way around. Now, Trump just negotiated a situation, got flattered, I think got played, and he'll make up for it with some crazy turning on Mamdani later. But this moment was big for Mamdani, which is difficult, not just for Andrew Cuomo, but for me to say. And in an era when our two parties give us ridiculous, offensive, failed politicians, this democratic socialist movement has made gains because what you've got to do after you feed a base is then appeal more broadly and make yourself palatable. He is capable of that over time, I think. That's what we've got.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. I'm going to come back and we're going to do one more short segment with John Brummett of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Stay with us. All right, welcome back to Capitol View. I'm with John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. All right, we talked on the last segment a lot of current events, a lot of politics. We put what you gave thanks for, basically, during the week of Thanksgiving. We now turn our attention to Christmas.
Oh
and
my
presents.
goodness, it's too early.
It's not too early. It's not too early. You put the Christmas tree up after Thanksgiving. When do you put your Christmas tree up?
Probably the next day or two, just to get it over with. The trouble of it.
Okay, this is more of me wanting to get some wisdom out of you from your years of contributions to Arkansas politics. Who's been your favorite person to interview in your storied career in journalism? Do you have a favorite? Can you think of a favorite interview even? So.
In my entire life,
Yeah.
who's been my favorite person to interview?
And don't say me, because that would be
I don't
like,
interview you.
That would be like
Mandami
interviewing Trump there.
Yeah. Many years ago, this is the one that comes to mind. Many years ago, I got a notice from people at Hendrix College that Bill Bradley was coming up to give a presentation. Now, what do I think instantly? I wonder, is he really 6'7"? Is he that tall? I wonder if we could talk basketball in the great New York Knicks era. I wonder if we could. And then I thought, I'm going to get his latest book, and I'm actually going to read it. It's rare for a journalist who interviews an author about a book to actually read it. Mm-hmm. And I went up there, I asked for time, and I got it, and we went for nearly 45 minutes when it was scheduled for 10.
Oh, wow.
Because two things, he liked talking about, he said, I'm talking to a guy here who knows a little about basketball, and also, if I'm not mistaken by your questions, you may actually have read my book.
Yeah.
And I know you're looking for somebody more colorful. He was widely considered a dry guy, and he was. But in that, he's just sitting there, big, tall guy, with his legs crossed, just comfortable as hell, talking about things that interested him and that interested me.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, and I think I got a good column out of it. So
just one?
Well,
I bet you'll get another one out of it.
Well, it was
before it's all said and done.
And he was at the time was mildly a presidential contender.
Yep.
It was either he or Gore, and Gore had the establishment bona fides, which kept him down. But he was a political star and a basketball star.
Good stuff.
And those are two things I love to talk about. So that's the one that comes to mind. As soon as I leave here, I'll think of something else.
You'll text me about it.
All right.
John Brummett,
Arkansas
Democrat Gazette.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.